Commissioner McGuire, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure. Y'all bow with me. Father in heaven, we just come thanking you for this time of us being together, Lord. We just ask for your provision today as we conduct business for the county, Father. We just ask that we do everything that's in accordance with your will, Father. We just ask that you'd continue to be with all of our employees, all of our county employees, first responders, Lord. We just ask for your provision and your safety on them, Lord. And we ask all these things in your name. Amen.
I'm in the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this April 4th, 2023, Marshall County Fiscal Court meeting to order. We're going to skip around here just a little bit on the agenda. Lyndall Groves, if you would come up, please.
I'm first.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
I'm going to make it short. I have a project over at Aurora at Marshall County District 1. It's the main lift station that collects all the wastewater from the system, both the state park and the business district as well. It's in dire need of repair, remanufacturing, replacing pumps, pump brackets, pump railing to pull the pumps, and also some electrical work. This job is probably going to go over $30,000, which it has to be bid. And I'm just here today to get the court's approval or non-approval of putting this job up for bids on Facebook or the county, and putting it in the newspaper for bids, and that's all I'm here for today.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Make a motion that we let them bid this out, put it out for bid.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, one more thing is I'm going to, the sanitation district is going to try to finance this in-house. We was actually going to try to drag this job out in maybe 3 months, do maybe phase at a time, maybe 3 phases, and going to try to do it without the court's financial help. So, but if I need you, I'll let you know.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lyndall. Have a good day.
Just speaking of bids, since that amount was mentioned, the governor did sign, I believe it's House Bill 522, upping the limit to $40,000. But that will go into effect whenever the new laws go into effect, which is usually end of June, first part of July.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Chrissy Greer.
I'm just here this morning to give a quick update on the May primary election. It's on May 16th, and the county board has voted to go with 7 vote centers across the county rather than the 18 precinct locations that we had in the past. Those locations are Benton Elementary, Marshall County High School, South Marshall Middle School, Jonathan Elementary, Aurora Fire Department, Sharp Elementary, and Calvert City Elementary. And we just feel we have 25 precincts. We're going to have all 25 precinct ballots at each location. So you'll still vote your precinct, but you can vote at any of these 7 locations if you're registered. So we just feel like most of our neighboring counties have already started this, and they just really like it. So we're going to give it a whirl.
Okay, very good.
And
It's probably hard to find workers, isn't it?
it's hard to find
this?
workers. We've already got plenty of workers.
Yeah.
For this time, and we've got a lot of positive feedback from them even, because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are used to being faced with people showing up at the wrong
Wrong
precinct
place.
and having to send them away to drive, wherever, so.
Yeah.
so
We just need
they
to
know it's a
definitely get the
problem.
word out that they can,
We're gonna have to get the word out.
yeah, that's gonna be a big thing to
And
let
that's why I'm here
everybody
today. And
know.
I mean, we're a little over a month away, so I'm getting ready to start pushing it hard.
Yeah,
If
and
y'all,
we're
if y'all will
st-
help me.
And we're still gonna do the early voting too?
We're still going to do the early voting, 3 days early voting, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before that election day on Tuesday. And then there's 7 days excused absentee.
Okay. And the early
voting in our
voting will be at
office.
the
This will be at Joe Creason
Joe
for the
Creason
3-day.
building? Okay.
And anybody can vote there also.
The early voting, Chrissy, is where, for those who may not know?
Joe Creason.
Joe Creason, okay.
It's been that way the past couple of years. We're really wanting to start pushing. It's really good to get people to go ahead and vote early, and then that way
Did
they'll.
we not have one here too? Or no?
Not
It
at, no.
wasn't- No?
And that's always been very confusing to people because they show up here wanting to vote on election day, and
Yeah.
we've never had it here.
Well, we had
on
it
election.
early, though.
We had early voting here.
Yeah.
That was in the last presidential,
Okay,
and they were lined up
right.
on Saturday, like around
But
the.
that
There's
is-
just not enough parking and
Yeah.
stuff
Okay.
to compensate for
So,
it here.
so that bill, did it pass or not? Like, do you have to send this to the state?
The state's already approved for us to be able to do this.
Okay.
Yes, we had a little pushback.
Did that bill pass, though,
No.
where it has to go, no, okay. All right, good enough.
It was my
So the
understanding that they
State
took our
Board of
part out of it.
Elections is who,
Right.
okay.
And like I say, we can always go back to the way it was before. We're just going to give this a try. If people don't like it, it doesn't work out. But I really think that people will like it. Just being able to stop off and vote, where you are. Also, back before we had applied for the grant for the e-poll books, we got the poll books. They're awesome. And we got our check on Friday for the money. So I'll give that to Erica. So we just need a vote to pay that bill.
Move.
Our normal,
It's not in the bills that went out, so it's $69,925.
so we just need a separate
Yes. it's
motion.
not in the bill, since it's not in the bills.
Okay, so I move to pay that bill for the new, what'd you call them?
E-poll books.
E-poll books.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and then after everybody in the state got their poll books, there's more money out there to get. So Marshall County is eligible to get $161,000 for new equipment and to be reimbursed for any equipment that we had bought here recently. So Tim bought $43,125.60 worth of equipment in December. So I just need approval to get this grant to reimburse that.
Need a motion to sign the resolution for HB1 election equipment grant for $43,125.60. Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And so we are going to order $116,013 worth of new equipment, and that is on a separate resolution, so I need to vote on that also.
So that is same thing?
It's the same
We'll apply
grant.
for the grant
Yes.
to get that, okay. So the approval is to apply for the grant?
Motion to sign a resolution for HB1 election equipment grant for $116,013.
$13.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And
Anything
I'll come
else?
back maybe next time and talk about the vote centers again, just
Okay,
so
great.
we can reach the public, okay? Thank you.
Awesome. Before I get too far down here and forget, hope everyone enjoyed Tater Day. I know the fireworks were way above and beyond my expectations. Got to see Commissioner McGuire race a little bit. That was pretty entertaining.
I bet it was.
It was. So, anyway,
And we're all a little more red in the face today after standing out there
Sunburn.
yesterday, but that was, I mean, the weather was perfect.
yeah, it was great.
Back of my neck.
It was great. I have him on video if anyone wants to see it. Highlights.
I'm sure.
Your
Anyway.
discretion advised, probably.
Okay, Brian Cutsingers. Brian, there he is. Okay.
All right, good morning. I'm here today for the bid opening for the Kentucky Homeland Security Grant, which we were funded for the purchase of heart monitors. I sent out a total of 3 bid specification packets, received 1 sealed bid from Stryker Medical. The bid amount was $72,435.72. After reviewing the specifications, their monitors meet the specifications, and they're also in line with the previous monitors that the Fiscal Court purchased last year. So that this would complete our upgrade of our monitors to all the Stryker Medical monitors for all of our ambulances. So it's my recommendation that the court approve this bid.
What was the amount again, Brian? I'm sorry.
It's $72,435.72. The grant amount was for a total of $72,000, so there will be a difference of the $435.72.
Need a motion to accept the bid of $72,435.72.
Still move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Next up, Brittany Hargrove, Parks Director.
All right, we got one bid in on the lights that we talked about, replacing one of the baseball fields and one of the soccer fields. That one bid that came in was from Riley Electric. Basically, just like we had talked about before, this would be to replace all of baseball field 3. There's 26 slot fixtures on baseball field 3, and soccer field 2, which has 44 fixtures on it. To troubleshoot, there's one light pole on the baseball field that's not getting power, so that's troubleshooting in there, and it was $86,581. Then to repurpose the existing lights that are still currently working onto the other fields, that is going to be $2,250 per 10 fixtures. We looked at that number, and we have 31 lights that are out on the other fields combined. So that would add that into that price. So my recommendation is that we would accept this bid from Raleigh Electric.
Just for anyone out there watching also, we are going with LED fixtures on these this time. The longevity of them is much greater, and actual cost of operating those is substantially less than what we currently have. So they'll actually pay for themselves in just a very few years. So
Yes, absolutely.
we're looking forward to that. So, so the bid is $86,581. Repurposing the additional fixtures, $7,500.
Yep, right in
Approximately.
there. Yes.
Oh, okay, so you're saying you would actually do all 31. I thought you meant 2250 for 10, but you would, but you're saying
Yes.
times
so-
3.
Times 3, yes, to cover what we have there, as long as we have enough working lights to replace in there. So this will kind of be a wait and see on the exact price, just because we don't know for sure how many lights working can be plugged into ones that are not working, that kind of a thing. But
Okay.
to overestimate, yes.
So 86,581, right, 86,581 plus
2250 times 3.
So it'd be up to 93.4, say. So 93.5. So within that motion, do you need something like moving it around, or are we, had we budgeted?
Do you want to talk about, you mean to talk about that as
Yeah,
well?
go ahead.
Okay, so we had a couple of options that Judge and I discussed this morning. One was that we had $170-something thousand budgeted to pave the Miracle League parking lot, which we're not going to get to this year. But Judge and I did discuss the possibility of being able to use those funds to get some other things done at the Miracle League field, maybe, that we had cut originally. So the other option I have for funding is I actually have enough in our nonprofit account to be able to cover this. That is money that is collected from things being used or rented or reserved at the park, also our sponsorships and donations and things like that, advertisers that we have throughout the year. So I do have enough in those accounts to cover this project as well. So court's preference on how we want to fund that, but we do have enough to cover that in there.
So we wouldn't have to move anything that way.
Correct.
I move that we approve the bid for, what was the number, Monty?
Up to 93.5.
Up to 93.5, take it out of the nonprofit account.
Okay?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. County statutory obligation to the PVA for fiscal year 23-24. Mr. Pagel?
Good morning. Okay, so we have before us the estimated county statutory obligations to PVA for fiscal year 2023, 2024. Says, Dear Honorable Spraggs, the Finance and Administration Cabinet, local officials, compliance branch is in the planning stage of the PVA's 2023-24 fiscal year budget. A pertinent part of the PVA budgetary process is the notification to county government regarding its obligations to the PVA office. This notification also provides county government with the information needed to prepare its own budget. So these are under Kentucky Revised Statutes 132.590, Section 9, and KRS 132.590, Section 12. And the Finance and Administration Cabinet has historically worked with local government to ensure that the PVA has adequate facilities and is able to meet its statutory obligations. So the total estimated appropriations for the upcoming fiscal year are $100,700. Your cooperation in this matter will ensure that the PVA administrator of your county has the adequate resources necessary to perform the duties of their office, and that both state and local government are receiving equity and fairness in matters of ad valorem taxation. Sincerely, the PVA.
Next item, under old business, approve the minutes from March 21st meeting. Have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item, the city-county IDA has been dissolved, and the assets were equally divided. The county's portion of that is $13,254.49. And we'd just like to have some discussion on where we would want to use that.
What about out at Southwest one on that alternate entrance?
Alternate entrance.
Might as well move it over there.
Have a motion?
Yeah, motion to move.
Where are you gonna put it? Just put it, are you gonna have to like make a budget amendment just for that, I guess?
It will have to be amended.
Okay.
So I'll get a budget amendment prepared for the next court meeting. We'll amend that in. We have some other things that need to go in too, so.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the tree over here that Benton Electric had to come in and do some trimming on already to get the limbs out of the power lines. We've had a couple different people look at that, and think it's a safety issue, to say the least. But we need to make a decision on what to do with that. One of them said it had hollow spots in it. We got two choices. We can trim it on down to match what the power company has done, or remove it and replant.
We don't know what that would cost or anything, though, do we?
I had
Either one.
reached out to Roy in the event we decided to remove it. He said they could work with the power company and the road department could remove it.
Oh, okay. You don't think, I mean, as the damage has already been done as far as the roots going under the, right, don't you?
I don't know. I'll just remove it if you want to remove it.
You're not an arborist? Is that what we are?
I'm not a treeologist, no.
A treeologist?
I figure if we did that, the safest thing to do would be have a stump grinder grind it out rather than start
What kind of
trying
tree
to
is it?
dig it up.
Wood.
It's a maple, isn't it? Is it not some type of maple?
What's your question in relation to? Do we need to check with the
Can you go out
Corps
and
of Engineers
identify
on
the
the
tree
Indiana
for us?
bat? Or,
I was just wondering if you could use the wood and make something out of it.
Sure.
yeah, we had talked about that with the last, with
Randy
that
Green
coffee
still
tree.
has that wood, so I mean, he could add that.
They could certainly take it out in a big enough piece to maybe see if we could have something made out of it.
Your job just
Couldn't
getting
you, Roy?
harder, Roy.
Sure we can.
One piece.
I think that last tree, Jason, when they went to dry it, it warped real bad that they was gonna try to build a bench out of.
Yeah.
It is worth checking on, seeing, so if
Yeah.
you could take that out in one piece, that'd be great.
You're welcome.
Okay, we gotta have a little fun every now and then. Does anyone
So-
want to make a motion either way?
Is that what we need to do, take it out?
I think so.
I'm not
I'll make the
attached.
motion to take the tree
Is
out.
there any old men that still sit under it? We're gonna have to put them on.
What do you
Well,
classify old, because Commissioner Collins is about to turn 50.
Yeah, he's gonna join the Half Century Club Sunday.
By the way.
Yeah. I don't even know if is the bench still?
Yeah, there's a
the
bench
bench,
across
is
from
it
it.
right out there?
I'll move to take the tree out. Allow Roy to work his magic and
Big pieces.
be in big pieces.
Big pieces.
I'll second that. It is an issue, you know, for, as far as going over the cars that are parked there, and we don't want anything like that happen.
Need to find a suitable replacement for it that doesn't get huge,
Yeah.
but does do,
Right,
make good shade.
yeah, and put it further away from the sidewalk so that the roots don't get under it like that one did and pop
Well, my
up there.
question would be, where do you want the biggest chunk taken to?
Road department would be a good place.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
For
Initially,
now,
anyway.
anyway.
Do we have to put that in the motion? We'll get back to you on that.
I think Hope Sawmill will be great place.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay. So we had a motion
Motion and
and
a
second.
second.
Any,
Judge Spraggs has a large farm. He
any
could-
more discussion? I'd never know it was there, probably. Any more discussion on that? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. New business proclamation, Building Safety Month.
Okay. Building Safety Month is May 2023. Whereas our Marshall County is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the the devolution of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our local code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas it starts with you, the theme for Building Safety Month 2023 encourages us all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, on behalf of Kevin Spraggs, the Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 as Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities.
Okay, thank you. Next item, Oak Level Water Project.
Yeah, we was looking over this out here on this, we figured out a way that we can pick up 12 more residents on this project. I don't know why it's overlooked to start with. It's pretty simple. And I would like to make a motion to reallocate a portion of the ARPA grant construction funds previously earmarked by the MCFC for the Oak Level West Marshall Phase 1 Water System Expansion Project from the end of the existing line on Brazil School Road to Phelps Road. This was going to pick up about 12 more residents.
Need like a mile marker, or how do you need it? You don't need it specific as far as the engineering plan?
Chad had looked over it, and what's coming from the water tower would stop basically at the top of the hill on Brazil School Road coming back toward Benton, the last two residents there. And that would stop there, and then it would go down to where there is existing water already at Brazil School Road before it crosses a creek. So you're taking out basically an equal section that just has farmland and creek on each side of it, and moving that basically the same amount of footage over to Phelps Road with 12 residents.
So he'll have to just deal with new easements and
Yes.
stuff like that based on that. So it won't extend the time frame or anything like that. They can go ahead and
shouldn't.
start on.
I've been
whatever.
Rob Mattingly picked them up this morning. I've been out helping them get easements out in that area. It's hard to catch people at home during the day when their office hours, they're trying to go out and people are at work. So
Right.
I went out this past weekend and got several of those signed for them. So anyway.
Well, I think it only makes sense to pick, the purpose of it is to bring water to existing residents. So if you have a section where you're, not doing that, it only makes sense for it to, without additional money go to an area where you can pick up existing.
That's what
I guess my only question was just, does it need to be, do we have to be specific within this?
I mean,
Since we-
specific enough so somebody can look at the record and say, okay, I understand what you're talking about. Got some kind of way to describe it, like some kind of measurement?
Yeah, I don't know.
The last residence coming in on Brazil School Road from the Benton side, where there is existing water, is the
I don't think so.
Powell's,
On
Drain Powell, Laura and Miss Powell. There's already water there, and they had designed that to tie on there and go on up through there to, all the way to the tower. So with this change, the water would still come from the tower to
No.
the top of the hill
This section right here.
on Brazil School.
This section.
And they're actually
That
putting
water here
another
at the end of
source
Mount
for those
Pleasant
coming
Valley
down
Road.
Brazil
They've
School.
got
That's gonna
water
be
down
brought
here.
in off of Oak Level
They're running
also.
this
Currently, it
section
just comes in off Simsonia
Phelps
Highway,
Road.
goes down Jackson School,
up these 12
then down Brazil School. Brazil School will be tied in from both ends on that end at this point.
Guess we could say just on the section just past Pleasant Valley Road, it's gonna, instead of running through the bottoms there, it's gonna end there and then pick back up, coming from the water tower back towards Benton.
And it's going to
Turning,
pick
go
up
down
12
Phelps.
new residences.
Yeah, go down Phelps Road and pick up 12 residents on Phelps Road. Where if we just went straight through the bottoms on Brazil School Road, you just got lowland agricultural and a big creek to cross that chances are never be developed because of the low-lying area.
But it's on you probably need to say, though, the portion of Phelps Road from Brazil School, or Brazil School, to Oak Level.
To Oak Level.
Right, not-
Yes.
Because there's,
Yeah.
Phelps Road is.
Yeah.
There's
There's-
water,
there's-
there's water on the other end of it.
Water on the-
The only person that doesn't have water on the other end of Phelps is Miss Nancy York, and this will pick up Miss York,
Lives right up here on top of the hill.
because it's going right in front of, actually, I had to get her to sign 3 easements because it's going across her property. So other than that, than that property, the rest of it is livestock. From there to the point where the water ends, the water ends up there, there's a fire hydrant up there by the livestock barns. That's where that ends.
Got the map. Okay,
That's Commissioner.
take a shot at it,
Barrett's.
Marty.
Yeah. All right. Readjust this a little bit. All right, I'll make a motion to relocate part of the water line running from Benton on Brazil School Road. It's gonna stop just past Pleasant Valley Road at the last residence there. It's not gonna go through the lowway. It's gonna pick back up on top of the hill, close to Phelps Road. And then we're gonna revert that and run down Phelps Road to Oak Level Road, that section of Phelps Road, to pick up 12 more customers. How would that work?
Sound good to me?
Clerk? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, Sheriff Hilbrick.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to ask about surplusing some vehicles. We've got several vehicles to surplus. Most of those are already registered in the sheriff's department's titled in our name. Those, I believe, we can surplus without even coming to fiscal court. But in the process, trying to go through our registration and title, see which cars were available to surplus, we have 5 vehicles that are actually registered both to fiscal court and the sheriff's office. So I wanted to come today to ask permission to surplus those 5 vehicles.
We
Read
need
you
to
off the
name
list
them.
of them if you need them.
Do we need to name them? Yeah,
Identify them.
yeah.
Identify 'em? Okay. There was a 2010 Dodge Nitro, a 2001 Ford F-150, a 2006 Chevy Impala, 2006 Chevy Impala, and a 2010 Chevy Impala. Have VIN numbers if we need to read those off too as well, or maybe the last four on each one.
Yeah, just give the last.
Last four, okay. On the Nitro, the last four of the VIN is 8111. F-150, the last four is 4279. First Chevy Impala, the last four is 2987. The second Chevy Impala, it's 2006, last four is 4847. And the 2010 Chevy Impala, last four digits is 7304. So that's the surplus, those five.
On Gov Deals or? Okay.
Move to approve the surplus.
Second.
Matt, I'm showing 6 vehicles on my list.
I've only got five that Chief sent to me. You have the years of yours?
A 2001 Impala, did you mention that?
I have a 2001 Ford F-150.
I don't think we have an 01 Impala, or I don't think we had one that old.
That might be an old court security one, though.
Also been wrong before, but
Okay, okay. She says no.
Those are the ones he sent me.
Okay, cool, we'll go with it. Do you have a
Might
motion?
be
and a-
back next month with another one.
Okay. Do we have a motion and a second, did I hear?
yeah, I moved the
Any
surplus.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Sheriff, Homeland Security Grant.
Sure. We're trying to apply for another grant. This is in reference to body armor with Kentucky Homeland Security. Body armor lasts 5 years and then it expires. Not that it's not actually still usable after 5 years, but that's what the companies recommend, you replace it in 5 years. Currently, we've gotten a grant before in the past, which is a blessing and a curse because now they all expire at the same time. So more or less, the entire department's body armor is all expired as of December of 2022. So looking at that, there is a grant to apply for there. My understanding how that grant works is they give you a fair market value. So they're not saying we're going to give you X amount of dollars. And former Sheriff McGuire may be able to speak to this better than me, but my understanding of that is they give you the amount of basically the cheapest body armor that's on the market. And if you want something better than that, then you have to pay for the additional cost. We've done estimates on that. Should be about $30,000 to replace those. We think the grant's going to give us between $14,000 to $15,000, depending on how they calculate their estimate of fair market value. It looks like to me, though, that I've got some forfeiture money, so the addition to that, I can pay for out of the funds and forfeiture money. So really just ask permission to go after that grant.
What do you do with the old ones?
We shoot them.
Shoot 'em?
No, most guys have some. We've had a few guys even put some in their cars to try to get electric protection in the cars.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
We do take them to the range though from time to time, try them out. I can tell you they still work after 5 years.
Who gets to hold them?
Well, now, we haven't tried it that way, but if you
The new
invite
guy.
volunteers,
Whoever's late for their shift, they have to hold them.
Whoever makes the most money has to hold it. I move to approve the grant, or approve Sheriff Hilbert to apply for the grant.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
I'd just like to say this, I certainly appreciate everyone who applies for the grants. I know that's time-consuming, and Kurt will tell you, it can be frustrating towards the end, but I appreciate you all taking the efforts to, certainly helps with our budget and helps, in a lot of cases, get things that we may not otherwise be able to have, so thanks to everyone on that. Okay, Fiscal Court, year 22-23 audits. Ms. Erica.
Okay. First, we have our letter. We send a letter every year to the state auditor's office, and we ask if they are going to do our audit or not. And they send us a letter back and say, yes, we're going to do it, or no, you can go out to get your own auditor. So we send the letter for fiscal year 23, and we did receive back a letter. I'll read it to you here from Mike Harmon's office. It says, Dear Judge Spraggs, the Auditor of Public Accounts Staff is planning to perform your audit for the fiscal year 2023. Please know that we will make every effort to complete the audit in a timely manner. We will send an engagement letter 2 weeks in advance of our arrival. Your cooperation on this matter is appreciated. If you have any questions, you can contact Jim Royce, the Executive Director of the Office of Local Government Audits, and he provides his phone number. So the state will do our 23 audit.
Do they tell you, they don't give you a price yet? Or do they?
No, they usually send it with their engagement letter, and I know that they have had a grant to decrease the cost for county audits, and I'm not sure if that will still be into play. I feel like the grant was only for a year or two, and I can't recall when it began, so we'll see when we get the price. But the last time we paid the state, it was $35,000 for our audit, and it was not a single audit. So 23 will have to be a single audit, which is a special audit for when you expend more than $750,000 of federal money. It's like an additional audit, and those usually cost more money. So we will have to have one of those in 23.
Yeah, and it's going to be, it'll be interesting because, I mean, it's going to be, next year will be a budget year, so I'm guessing that you're right, that grant was probably set out there through that budget year, so we probably won't.
Unless
That may not catch
unless they
us.
choose to continue to fund that. But I know that at training, that it has really helped cut costs for local government, so hopefully maybe it's something they'll continue to do.
Yeah.
Okay, then on our 22 audit, we have a letter here from Tammy Patrick and Associates out of, I believe they're out of Lexington. They did not put their return address on here, but this is what we think we want to go with for the 2022 audit, and you're welcome to read their letter. It's a little long, but their price is in line with what we've been quoted for other audits. For the single audit, it is on the page 6, right before the paragraph that says reporting. We estimate our fee for those services will be $25,500. And that, again, is in line with what I've been quoted from other audit firms. We've gotten recommendations for this audit firm from other county treasurers in the area. And then also throughout the state of Kentucky, the auditors who have started this practice, they're 2 former state of Kentucky auditors who work for Mike Harmon. So we've heard nothing but good things about them.
I'll need a motion to accept that.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Fiscal Court date change, May the 2nd to May the 1st at 8 a.m. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the change.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We're doing that for the purpose, now I've forgotten, but the purpose of the, is
Budget.
the budget, right?
Yeah.
We have to have that budget submitted on May 1st, right?
Right, the judge has
Yeah.
to submit it to the fiscal court by May 1st.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Memorandum of Agreement, is that what that is? KDA mosquito spraying. Need a motion to sign the agreement between the Kentucky Department of Agriculture and the Fiscal Court for mosquito spraying.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
What is that, we do it, they just,
Roy, you want
How
to
does
speak
that
on
work?
that?
The road department does it.
yeah.
We, which we've already asked, we'll hire a, part-time employee to go out and spray mosquitoes at night from 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night.
I forget now, do they base that, that's a request process somewhat, right?
Yeah, that's
Through
kind of,
the
yeah, kind of a request.
Kinda,
Yeah, it gets a lot of requests, so.
yeah. Was it through, who did they request that through, though? Was it the health department or?
Yeah,
Okay.
Commissioner Collins.
What? Oh, yeah. No. No.
But they can call the road department and request it too if they want, if they'd like.
Okay.
But
I'm
we
sure the health
only-
department will put something out about it whenever.
Y'all don't go down the
Time.
driveways, do you?
No, that's what I was getting ready to say. We don't pull in driveways. It's down the road ditches. That's all we do.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's what I'm thinking of is the other, because at one time they did, right?
Yeah.
I think years ago they did. The road department never has.
Yeah,
As long as we've been doing it, we're just down the
right.
Yeah, 'cause I thought a helicopter had crashed in my backyard. I'd forgot about them coming.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, had a motion, a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. County Road Aid Agreement and Resolution.
Okay, I will be prepared to read the resolution. The fiscal court resolution only is fine, isn't it?
No, you can summarize it, yeah.
I can summarize it, okay. Well, that's good, because it's about 7 pages.
Assuming it's the same thing we get every year.
It is. In fact, I'll have to make some arrangements to
Only the number changes.
only the number changes. Okay. County Road Aid Cooperative Program Agreement. So it's an agreement entered into, the date of the signature below, the Secretary of the Transportation Cabinet, made by and between the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, the department, and the Fiscal Court, County of Marshall County, Kentucky. Whereas KRS 177-320 provides that 18.3% of revenue resulting from the imposition of motor fuel taxes on taxpayers should be set aside for construction, reconstruction, and maintenance of county roads and bridges. All right, so summarize it. Okay. Based on revenue estimates supplied by the Office of State Budget Director for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023, the amount is $1,407,842.26. It's the apportionment, and it's based on the most recent available date and is subject to change according to available revenue. Okay? There will be distributions. First distribution, the department shall initially distribute to the county 60% of the apportionment. Okay, so that initial amount is $819,364. There's a second distribution of a 30%. Okay, and that will depend on how the revenues compare to the estimates. There'll be a final distribution of the final part should be based on the revenues tabulated after the end of the fiscal year. Okay, there will be emergency funds. Let's see. For use of said funds for emergency roadway and bridge projects designated by the county.
I just need a motion to sign.
Thank you.
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
I mean, the long and short of it is, obviously, that money is earmarked for very specific purposes, and you can't use it for anything else. And then also, there is a provision in KRS that says when you're going to, before you spend any of that money, you're supposed to have a public hearing. So what I would suggest that probably somewhere around budget time, we set a public hearing just to, and you advertise that according to 424. So you just set a public hearing on it'd be fine to have it on a fiscal court day and just decide, where that money is going to be allocated. That gives the idea is to give the public a chance to come and say, hey, give me some over here on whatever road.
Okay, thank you. Next item. need a separate motion for the resolution? Okay. Need a motion for the resolution.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Advertise for annual bids. Need a motion, please, to advertise for our annual bids.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We also received a bid, only one bid on the jail boilers. I would like to ask a court to table that to the next meeting. I have several questions on that bid. I'd like to have a chance to discuss with the contractor that presented the bid.
So moved.
Your second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Board appointments. Need a motion to appoint Mr. Carl Boyd to the East Marshall Fire Board to fill the term vacated by Scott Wagner, the term to expire 6/30/23.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to appoint Greg Hainish to Fair Dealing Fire Board, term to expire 6/30/23.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to appoint Chris Greenfield to the Fair Dealing Fire Board to fill the term vacated by Savannah Kirkpatrick, term to expire 6/30/25.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New hire?
The Parks has a full-time new hire, Eric Nees. We hired in at $12.50 an hour, effective April 4th, 2023.
Move we approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Transfers.
Alrighty, we do need to add one transfer, when, the EMS director, when Brian opened the heart monitor bid, and we accepted it for $72,436. The line that we are paying that out of, that we had agreed to pay that out of was, what was left from the ambulance, where the timing of the ambulance wasn't gonna work out. That only has, $69,393 in it, so we need to add $3,042.47. We could take that from investments and just put it back when we get reimbursed from the grant, if that's acceptable to you all. So we'll add that to the bottom of the transfer list. There's some sheriff requests for transfers, and then we have some coroner department head requests as well. We also have a transient tax transfer, $7,258.81.
I'll move we approve the transfers with the addition of the
Heart monitor.
heart monitor from investments.
Second.
Is there a
And
second?
And really, that, what will be left will be that $450
Once we're reimbursed,
is
yes.
all that we're gonna be out. Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so for bank transfers, I have transfers that are budgeted subsidies from occupational tax to the general fund of $450,000, to the road fund, $300,000, to the jail fund, $150,000, to 911 fund, $150,000. Again, those are all budgeted occupational tax subsidies. And then we also have a budgeted subsidy of alcohol beverage tax to the general fund, sheriff fund within the general fund bank account. That's $105,600.
Need a motion to approve the bank transfers, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I need let me see here. Need a motion to go into executive session, litigation, and personnel as per KRS 61-810, 1C and L.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Call Marshall County Fiscal Court back to order. I think we have one other item of business, maybe?
I would move to authorize the county attorney to offer a settlement in a matter of litigation.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.